So happy you're here. Listen. I was, you know what? I wasn't gonna break his balls, but I follow him on Instagram. You know, I'm always liking your stuff. I seen recently you were in New York. You were in New York.
No. I wasn't in New York. See, a lot of people said, "What the fuck, Mike? You're in New York and you never called me." And I guarantee that's what you were going to say or something like that.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It was one of those fucking stupid Ponzi throwback, flashback Friday bullshits. But I didn't want to put 2017 because all the fucking assholes would have commented, "Oh, you mean when you got choked out of GSP? It was just a nice... It was just a nice family picture, okay?"
That's funny. That is funny. Because I was going to be like, oh, Mike, he's going to be on the show. He could have been in studio. That's what I was going to say. But fuck, it shows you I don't read anything. I don't know.
Hey, listen, if I was in New York, you guys would be the first people that I called. Come on.
Hey, we had a fun time doing that year review. No, what? Us with DC and Attic and Lionheart.
It was one of the... It was one of the funniest mornings I've ever spent in Vegas. It was absolutely hilarious. You know, the funny thing is, well, not the funny thing, the sad thing is, they cut the fun stuff when that heard. Yeah, okay, it was good. But as you know, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that probably wasn't fit for TV consumption. But yeah, it was a good morning.
It's amazing how
they cut things that you guys were saying, like in between the.
Oh yeah, we'd all be out of a job. Every one of us. But it's funny how we can have such a blast with that, and then they cut it up. I'm like, wow, we look really professional.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, we're just fucking shooting the fucking. But it's a lot like this, basically.
Sure. How are you adjusting to like your full time? I guess you're a commentator. You're not fighting anymore. How has that adjustment been?
You know, to be honest, so far so good. You know, I'm pretty busy, so that's good. That occupies my mind. If I was sitting around bored and I didn't have much to do, then yeah, maybe I think about stepping back into the cage. But you know, I've got my own podcast, as you say. I do the commentary and things like that. Piss off, people calling and Skyping. You guys are so late. There's having a knock-on effect to all the other ones I had to do this morning. So screw you, Matt Serra. Never mind me not calling you. What the fuck? I've been sitting here for half an hour waiting to do this bullshit.
Wait a second. Is that the Believe You Me podcast?
That is the Believe You Me podcast, available wherever you get your podcast from.
Yes,
that is correct.
Hey, Mike,
is Lewis involved in this one or no?
Yeah, of course he is. Does that make up for being late? I'm going to plug it at least 3 more times before the end of this thing.
What's going on?
How's the knee doing, man? Because Jimmy sees me walking, and it's not good. You seen me when I was with you. I was asking you. I want to ask you now, because it's been another month at least. How's the knee holding up?
You know, right now, well, no, it's good. It's still not 100%. I will say this. When I had the total knee replacement, probably the most depressing 2 months of my life. It was bad. The pain was incredible. I couldn't move, just having to sit on the couch all day taking painkillers. I know for some people that's probably their idea of a good time, but not for me. It was bad, but now it's good. You know, now when I walk, it's my good knee that feels like my bad knee. So unfortunately, I got to get a knee replacement in my other knee, but not for about another 4 years. But yeah, you know, it's feeling a lot better. Thank you, Matt.
And you're back to working out, unless that was another throwback of you hitting with Jason Perlow. Was that a throwback or is that real?
No. That was real, buddy. Okay, I was hitting the mitts. I was kicking the bag. And my doctor called me. He's like, Mike, what the hell are you doing? He said, the knee replacement, if you look at it closely, if you zoomed in, there's a serrated edge and it has to fuse to the bone. And it's going to take about 6 months for that to happen. And if you're kicking a bag, he said, it's going to come loose and we're going to have to redo the operation. I'm like, okay, I get it. Say no more. That is all you have to say.
Jimmy,
when did you actually get the surgery?
I think it was 17th of October.
Oh, okay. That's very, very recent. Hey, by the way, I'm looking at your One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. What is that in the background? Is that a poster or is that a card from the theater?
Yeah, it's just a little fucking thing on the wall. I don't know.
You don't know? Is that your house? Is that your house?
Yeah, this is like where I do my podcast from usually, but I just got out of bed. I got up very early for you guys. I've been in Las Vegas all last week. ESPN giving me 7 a.m. call times, suited and booted. So that means up at 6, shower, all the rest of it. You know, so today essentially is my Sunday. You know, but for you guys, come on. I am honored. I am privileged.
Oh, thank God. I was going to say, stop complaining. We're so happy that you're on here. Fuck.
No, come on, man. I definitely would not rather be in bed, catching up on sleep, taking it easy. No. Come on.
I want to hear about your book. Now, wait a second. Let me read it.
Quitters never win. My life in UFC.
Now, this is you. Do you have a ghostwriter? Is there Louis J. Gomez behind this? Who wrote this? And I got you in the hot seat. Was it you?
Yeah, so it was myself and Anthony Evans. You probably know Ant. Ant Evans used to work for the UFC for a long, long time. We're good buddies, and we wrote it together. So we sat down on the phone every night for about 3 hours. He would record the conversations. He'd write up what I say. He'd send it back to me. I'd look at it. I'd say, no, this is a lot of shit. It's got to be like this. So we'd work together. So yeah, Ant did it. Ant probably made me sound more eloquent and educated than what I really am.
Yeah.
But what is in the book is what I asked him to write down.
So basically, he just you gave the stories. It's your, he just had a little bit of help with structure and trimming and whatever needed to be done structurally.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and because I don't know where to start a book and where to finish. I mean, of course, if it's a life story, pretty much start at the start of your life. But yeah, as you say, the structure, the chapters, all that type of stuff. Anthony did that, but the rest of it, all the stories and stuff, obviously that comes from me.
Now, is it stuff in the Tough House? Or like from the or is it start when you're in the UFC? Or are you going to keep us in suspense and not let us know?
No, I won't keep you in suspense. It's actually a Sunday Times bestseller in the UK, so a lot of people might have seen it already. But, it talks about childhood a little bit. It talks about, listen, most guys, not all guys, and certainly not these days because the climate is changing, but a lot of guys that step into a cage and fight for a living, might have some, bit of a past, bit of a background, you know what I mean? Mine wasn't a standard upbringing, and unfortunately, I did a spell in prison and stuff like that. So you hear about all that type of stuff, and then how I was able to turn my life around. I came out of prison, I had a wife, I had 2 kids, no cash, no nothing, in debt, sleeping in my car, and then I thought, right, I'm gonna try and get in the UFC and turn this all around. So it's all about that, and obviously, if you've seen my career in the UFC, you know where it ends up.
It sounds like the future making of a Guy Ritchie movie, if you ask me. Imagine Guy Ritchie doing this fucking movie. You ever see Snatch?
I have not.
Don't fuck around.
I haven't.
Don't fuck around.
I haven't. I know who he is.
I should walk out.
I like Jason Statham.
Ariel Helwani, the same thing. We were having this conversation on Saturday, and he said, "What's Snatch? I've never seen Snatch." I'm like, number one, you don't know what Snatch is. We get that. You're the nerdiest guy in the world. But secondly, I'm like, how dare you have never seen Snatch? Jim Norton, shame on you. Get your act together, buddy. Tonight, your homework, go watch Snatch, one of the best movies you'll ever see.
Everyone tells me that. I've never seen Snatch. I've never seen, what was that, like Lock, Stock, and Barrel. I've never seen a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into that one. But not only is Snatch
Brad Pitt's
great,
in Snatch, right?
But listen, what's that?
Brad Pitt's in Snatch?
He's fucking great in it. But listen, one of the best things about that is, Michael does acting. Now listen, he did a little bit with Renato Lamange.
No.
Am I saying it right? Lamange. He did a bit with him. And remember I told you I like Kenny Florian's bit what he did with Heat?
Yeah.
When he did the thing like, all you got. Michael did it with, who was with you? It was Hernat? I don't know who the fuck was with you. I forgot. But dude, you were great in it. You're not going to get it because you didn't see the movie. The part with feeding you to the pigs.
Listen, I appreciate, when it comes to the acting side of things, you mentioned in that one little tiny little shitty YouTube clip that I did with a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah, I have done some pretty good movies, you know what I mean? We got Den of Thieves 2, we're working on that this year, Triple X. I mean, I've done lots of good stuff, but that little tiny YouTube clip, thanks for the shout out, Matt.
You don't like that Matt mentions your acting career as an Instagram story and not the other stuff you've done, the legit stuff?
It's better. Well, listen, he plays fucking Hawk and Triple fucking G. I don't know what it was, and he does the flips. It's something you expect him to do. Like, he looks like a special forces guy or whatnot. Yeah. But in this scene, the guy's like giving him shit and threatening him, and I'm like, oh fuck, he can act because I believe it was, dude. It was you're shitting on it. It was good. It was fucking good.
No, it was good.
I enjoyed it.
It was good. Renato Laranja, he's a good guy. He's very talented. But we did that. That was like 8 years old. So, but yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate that.
I'm always late to the party. All these fucking things.
Hey, when did your book actually come out?
So yeah, so as I say, it's been available in the UK for a while, but it actually releases tomorrow. And if anybody wants a signed copy, I've got to say this. Sounds like I'm doing the hard sell, which I detest doing. But if you want a signed copy to yourself or a note or whatever in there, you can go to MikeBispingBook.com, and then we're doing a live signing tomorrow. So it'll be like, I don't even know what this is. The publishers tried explaining it, but I still don't quite understand. But I think what it is, via like Instagram Live or Facebook Live tomorrow, they'll hand me the books, they'll give me the message, they'll watch me sign it and shit like that. So if you want a signed copy, MikeBispingBook.com, there you go. And you say tomorrow, then Amazon, shops, wherever you get them, I guess.
And now, just for like the demographics out there, this is an inspiring story. Now, you're a family man like myself. Do you get into how you met your wife in this book?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Yeah. So you know, it's funny. I'm gonna give a little story. She'll go crazy at me for this. So in the UK version, so Anthony Evans, the guy that I wrote it with, right? I was actually out in South Africa at the time when the book was about to be released, and I was working on a TV show, Warrior, and I'm out there, and so I didn't get to edit it properly, and the deadline was approaching. So I told the whole story and made it nice and romantic, how I met my wife in the English version, but he was under a deadline and panicked. So when it came out, it just said, "Hi, I met my wife. She was beautiful and blonde hair." And that was it. And my wife was like, "What the fuck? That's all I get." So all your training partners, coaches, you suck their dicks throughout the entire book. And all I get is, oh, she was blonde and beautiful. That was it. So in the American version, we got the real story. So there you go. Mrs. Bisping, there you go. Now, she gets her tribute.
And rightfully so, you know. Let me ask you, Anthony, did he used to help with people with the speeches for the Hall of Fame, or no? Is that the same Anthony?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Holy
that's
fuck.
That's the guy.
Oh boy, tell him I said hello. Hold on.
Wait, what?
No, I'm not booing him because he's not a good writer. But holy fuck, hey, when you brought that thing up with the wife, that sealed the deal. Now I remember. Because I did a big thing because he wanted to help me with my speech, Mikey, right? So I'm like, and he's writing all these these jokes that are like, self-deprecating humor,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's not my humor. It was fucking brutal. He's like, oh, you got to be able to take a jab at yourself.
Whoa, Matt. Here to promote the book.
I know, no, the book. Oh, listen, hold on. I'm going to stop now.
Oh, the guy had no sense of
No,
humor.
no, he's great. No,
he was lame. There was spelling mistakes everywhere. The guy could fucking use periods, full stops.
No.
What the fuck, man?
He's talented.
Abort mission.
You're right.
Mission.
One thing, though.
Edit this bit out.
You don't think Matt's being helpful, talking about how the guy wrote him terrible jokes for his...
Jesus Christ, Matt. Fuck me. Everyone that bought a book from MikeBispingBook.com is now emailing and saying, hey, can I get my money back?
Come on, man. Don't make me cry, bro.
That's not helpful.
Listen to me. No, that's not what I was going to say. Listen, no. The guy's talented. Holy shit. But listen, with my wife, he goes, it's good to, get this, that. It has to have this. At the end, you can, just throw some names in at the end. I go, dude, what the fuck? It's my wife. Her family's flying in. Yeah. So the first thing when I got whatever, listen to me. He's a nice guy, and he's good at writing. Mike, how's everything else going? What about that time you shot? Mike, hold on a second. One of the things that I really respect about Michael Bisping is the nuts and the self-confidence, man, with the whole thing with that Luke Rockhold rivalry. And I don't want to start shit up. I'm not that fucking guy. I swear to God. I'm not fucking Ariel Helwani, that guy. But listen, and you're not fighting anymore. It's over. But, man, I was there for both fights with the Luke Rockhold fights. And the first one didn't go well. And I remember seeing afterwards, and he's like, fuck it. He's funny. And, how you think you, took it in stride, whatever. I'm sure it was killing him. But when he had the chance to fight on short notice, I'm going to say 3 weeks, really quick. What was it?
2 weeks.
Okay,
2 weeks.
2 weeks notice. So you're not having a camp, and you're fighting a guy that smoked you in the first fight, and you're fighting less. And I like Luke, but he's a cocky guy. So for him to go in there and to do what he did, the way he did, Remember how I hit that shit before? Where the fuck? I almost had a car crash. Where the fuck?
Matt's looking for the applause button.
You guys suck. They suck. It ruins the moment. Show me what the applause is.
I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you're looking for. I'm assuming it's some kind of sound effect. But let me just tell you something. And there's a good story in the book, Matt, because that first fight with Luke Rockhold in Australia, you were there with Al Iaquinta. He knocked out Ross Pearson. That was a great performance. That's when I first started taking notice of Al Iaquinta, actually. I was like, holy shit, he just knocked out Ross like that. That guy's going to do big things. But the fight with Rockhold, a few days before I flew out to Australia, I got headbutted in training. And I had stitches in my eye, and this is all in the book. And obviously, everybody knows I've got one bad eye that pretty much is, well, I have a fake eye in there now, so it doesn't work. And my good eye, I had stitches all on the top of the eye. And they actually took the stitches out as I got to the arena because they said, Matt, you can't fight with stitches in your eye. So they took the stitches out. And at the start of that fight against Rockhold, he headbutts me and opens up the cut, right? And I couldn't see a fucking thing. It was like somebody taking a tub of paint and pouring it on a windscreen, and then you put the windshield wipers on and it'll wipe the paint off, but it'll just smear. So the blood was going into my eye. I would wipe the blood like this, and then I could kind of see for a second, and then the blood would run into my eye again. So I'd wipe it again, and then as I was doing that, boom, I got head kicked. I had no idea what fucking happened. I couldn't see shit. But I couldn't say that at the time because I still wanted to carry on fighting. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I got my opportunity for a rematch, even on 2 weeks' notice, of course I fucking took it because I knew I could beat that guy.
Wait, can I ask you about your fake eye? Am I missing something?
Oh, you dude? Oh shit! No, you don't gotta do it. He can YouTube it. Don't feel.
Yeah.
Guy,
no. We're good. Listen, you know, there's some cheating. There's a lot of cheating bastards on steroids out there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I have one eye now, but it's all good. It's all good. It's a nice little party trick.
YouTube it after this, or he has it on his Instagram. It comes out.
Oh my god! And how long has that been like that?
It's the Vita Belfort.
Since 2013.
You know, you believe that shit?
That's incredible.
Yeah, man. It's all in the fucking book. Plug that book again, please.
It's in the book, Jimmy Smith. If you want to know the real story.
Autobiography. It's called Quitters Never Win, My Life in UFC.
And he talks about it a lot on the Believe You Me podcast with Louis J. Gomez.
Is that with Louis Gomez?
Boom. There you go.
I'm trying to make up for
Louis is still co-hosting.
Yes.
Yeah. Lewis is the co-host. Yeah. So the problem is with me and Lewis doing a podcast is that a lot of the time I'm controversial as it is, and we know that Louis J. Gomez is out of his fucking mind. Anybody that doesn't know him, you know him, Jim, you know him, Matt. He's out of his mind. So the pair of us get together. I start like trying to play like a little PC and toe the line, but he just goes out of his mind and starts saying all kinds of controversial stuff, and I'm like, oh crap. So I join in, and then by the end of the podcast, we're like, wow, did I really just say that? You know, so if you want to hear two morons giving their take on mixed martial arts and having a laugh while they do it, check it out, Believe You Me.
I'll be honest, Lewis is very entertaining on Twitter. It's very entertaining to wake up and see that Lewis is in another Twitter. He's not happy unless he's in a Twitter fight, in some sort of a YouTube battle. Lewis just likes confrontation.
Yeah, he just argues with everybody. And as you say, every day on Monday mornings, you look on Twitter and he's just going at it with somebody. So he loves the drama. But yeah, check it out. But more importantly, MikeBispingBook.com. Quitters never win. Get your copy signed. Available at all good bookstores from tomorrow. Plug.
I am going to read this book. I mean, there's a lot about you I didn't know. I want to read the prison story in full, what happened there and what actually got you in there. That's really interesting to me is people's backstories. And so many fighters, like you said, like Derek Lewis, and there's a lot of other guys that come from situations that could have gone terribly wrong that they wind up turning around.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, I mean, now mixed martial arts is a massive sport, you know, and people look at it as a viable career to make money, you know, but back in the day, in Matt's day, it wasn't really like that. I remember at the time, I started doing mixed martial arts just for the money. It was a business move. And I remember at the time seeing on forums and stuff that I used to go on, you know, like a lot of fighters and jiu-jitsu guys on there saying, if you're getting into MMA to make money, you're in the wrong fucking sport. And I was like, holy shit, that wasn't good to read. But, you know, I mean, listen, I left school at 16, you know, and you find out pretty quick. There's not many options for an unskilled 16-year-old in the world. So stringing in jobs, You know, you get in some trouble with your friends, you get in a few scraps. I mean, that's the type of guy I am. Got in some trouble, and then in my early 20s, I was like, right, I got to turn this around. This is not the life I want for me or for my children. So, you know, I dedicated myself to getting in the UFC and trying to make some money. So, yeah, and it all worked out. So,
and you don't settle. I mean, you're constantly doing new things with the podcast. You're commentating. Do you ever look around and you talk about where you came from and you're like, I fucking made it. Look at me. This is crazy.
You know, to be honest, I try not to do that. But every now and again, I'll say to my wife, I say, hey, it's not bad, is it? Remember where we used to live? Remember how broke we were? Remember, I like my mom has no money. She's fucking, she's broke, you know, completely by herself. She had polio as a kid. She can't work, you know, and I'd have to call my mom to borrow £5 just to put some gas in the car to get to work at my dead end job. You know what I mean? So, so now and again, yeah, I do turn around to my wife and she's sitting there fucking ordering some more expensive bullshit online that she doesn't need. And like, hey, it's not bad, is it? We did okay.
That's good, man.
Hey, was there ever a point where you fought and were doing commenting? Was there ever a crossover between those two things?
Between which two things?
When you were fighting and doing any commentating, was there ever, like Paul Felder has a crossover, or Cormier, was there ever that crossover for you, or were you done fighting when you started commentating?
Yeah, that's right. I was done fighting. Yeah, I didn't retire until 2018. My last fight was 2017. So, and I only just started commentating last year. I was doing a lot of desk work. The desk work, you know, the pre-fight, the post-fight since 2012. But actually commentating, that just started last year. So no. But when I won the belt, I was actually, Matt mentioned it before, this Triple X movie that I was shooting at the time. I was in Toronto. I'd been there for 3 months. I was filming that. And then Matt's guy, Chris Weidman, got injured. He was supposed to face Luke Rockhold. So I texted Dana. I was on a movie set and I still had to finish training. But so I finished filming. I texted Dana on the Thursday. I finished filming on a Saturday, flew back straight to the gym, and then like 10 days later went in for the fight. So, but again, all in the book, my friend.
I'm amazed at people who can motivate themselves to fight when they actually have a commentating gig. Like, it's got to be difficult when, like, and again, you can, I mean, it's not the same thing, I'm sure not the same money, but guys who are able to kind of, you know, to do some commenting and then wind up going and training to fight, that's got to be difficult when you know that there's this commentating job, which is a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, no, sorry, Jim, but you should really ask Paul Felder about that. He's the one that, no, I don't know. I never did that, but you're right. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass, buddy.
Well, look, the book is called Quitters Never Win, My Life in UFC. And also you have the podcast, Believe You Me, with Michael Bisping, co-hosted with Luis J. Gomez, who I love. He's very funny. Luis is a real hustler, too. Yeah. He's a hard worker. He's an entrepreneur. So I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy things are going so well.
Yeah, man. Congrats, buddy. I can't wait to read the book.
Yeah, no, you guys are awesome. I appreciate the plug. I appreciate the love. And all right, have a great rest of your show, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you again, man. Take care, Michael.
Take care, champ.
Take care, fellas.